stole all the stuff from his farm, and left in the middle of the night, and then ran off all the security guys and ruined the fences. So in like the middle of the night, he's texting us. It's like, pray for us. We're going like, it's like him and like grabbing some of his homies and like trying to like arm up and go protect 40 kilometers of fence in the middle of the night. Like, and they have been poached since we've been going. So it's just it's a completely different place.
It doesn't think it's your fault.
No. I haven't told anybody about like the location or anything like that. Anything like, but like, it's a very complicated, strange. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I do watch his content. I'm just wasn't aware that was.
Oh, he's out there. Whatever it takes to get shot. Bullets was in my head out in Lebanon.
Well, so one of the things that a lot of people don't know is like elephants' ivory is vasculated, so they have to dye to have it cut from rhino horn is just like our fingernails.
You can trim it. You can trim.
They don't have to dye. They don't have to.
Kevin, is that you?
Yes.
Can you send me, or
Yeah, sure.
in order for me to, I want to have it be on the screen, but also on Facebook Live. Can you just email that to me real quick?
Yeah, I sent to you about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Let me check.
So talking about him trying to get the
Kevin
shot,
Kyle, there you are, man. I didn't
the
intentionally look at my email.
we
Perfect.
moved 2 bulls to a safer area and just did 2 more trimmings. He was the main camera and I was the second camera, and Josh
Right.
is this close to a darted rhino trying to get the footage and stuff like that. And he's got the rhino that is like eyes covered and he's like drugged and very loosely, but like at any point this 2-ton thing could just run over people. And like, yeah,
They trip out. Yes.
When you say trimming, you're talking about a big saw.
Yeah, sawzall.
Yeah,
Use a sawzall.
or a chainsaw.
Yeah, some
places use
places use a
Yeah.
chainsaw. But so think about it from this.
All the way down, all the way down.
No. So
Not
it's just like trimming your fingernails. They only trim it so far that it doesn't. There's live tissue. So this is the thing. On open market, 1 kilogram of rhino horn, $100,000. Okay.
USD.
They make about 1 kilogram a year. So it's like a golden goose if you want to deal with syndicates. If you want to deal with syndicates. So the whole point of the documentary is to help people see, 1, you know, they kill a rhino to trim its horn. 2, it might be a good idea to plow that money back into conservation for all the animals underneath the rhino umbrella. So if you protect rhinos, you protect leopards, pangolins, zebra, giraffe, everything that lives in that ecosystem, you're protecting those animals. But rhinos are a liability on a farm. Like, people just want to kill them. It's dangerous. Like, people are coming into your property with guns to kill, take this thing. And if they run into you, that's inconvenient for you. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just strange. It's very strange and really interesting.
Yeah, it
So,
seems like there should be some kind of education for the poachers. I mean, I guess they're probably just vagabond.
Well, that's part of it
That
too.
you can harvest things, right?
it's part
Yeah.
of it's part of the
Capture
education.
the rhino. Right? Yeah.
They're not that far out of apartheid. So like, there's this huge political thing. There's this interpersonal thing. There's all these different layers. Only white people own rhinos. So like, no, we don't want you to sell the rhino horn kind of thing. So it's this big convoluted. It's like racism and politics and wildlife conservation. That's why it's a compelling idea. So that's why we're shocked.
That's why I was doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So much. It's so much.
All right. Well, I'm ready, I think. Let's see. Yeah, there's my desktop. So now I just have to remember what direction to drag the presentation over to. All right, there's 1. Get my mouse back. There's 2. All right. So for the sake of the people watching on Facebook Live, I'm just going to welcome you guys all. I'm just going to read my little script here. 1 Million Cups is a weekly event started by the Kauffman Foundation and is currently held in more than 130 communities across the nation with the goal of caffeinating entrepreneurs nationwide every Wednesday. And every Wednesday, these communities meet to give each other support, encouragement, and feedback over a cup of coffee, which I hope you've all helped yourself to. Our community meets here at Rome in the town at Trilith every Wednesday morning from 9 to 10, and 1 or 2 early stage startups will present their companies to a diverse audience of their peers, mentors, educators, and advisors. Before we get things started though, I always want to acknowledge and thank our community sponsors, Rome for providing us with this beautiful space, which is appropriately named Inspire, Jason Hunter Design for volunteering their time and resources to organize and promote the event, Edwin Jarvis for the high quality flyers that we were able to distribute around town, which I'll go grab some so you can all go home with one, and Counterculture Coffee for the coffee. Our first slot this morning with 6 minutes to present will be Kevin Kyle with Stealth CRM, which provides a CRM with power of large providers on a non-subscription case. I know that it didn't sound right the way I read it, but I think you're going to do a much better job explaining it. At the end of his 6 minutes, he will be asked, what can we as a community do for you? Which will start the Q&A portion of the program. After 20 minutes of Q&A, we'll shift over to our second slot, Brandon Hannon with Laboratory Fitness, which helps people restore the best versions of themselves from the inside out by utilizing cutting edge exercise technologies and testing. So without further ado, I am going to share, if it'll let me, screen 2. And this part is going to be a little bit tricky. First, flip the camera around this way so that we can see everybody in the audience. And let's go a little bit. Cool. So you're welcome to stand up in the front. I can do my best to just rearrange this for you. It's not presentation mode. I have yet to figure that out.
Sure.
So you'd have to just hit the arrow to move to the
Okay.
next slide.
So it actually seems easier on Mac than it is on Windows getting this to work.
Did that work?
So I could just hit this.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Perfect. Let me actually do a little switch so that you don't come in front. All right. The floor is
All right.
yours.
All right, so good morning. My name is Kevin Kyle. I'm with Stealth CRM. We are a custom CRM for startups. And I'll just start off by saying it's a simple truth that what can be measured can be improved. For this reason, the CRM industry has grown to over $20 billion a year industry. You may have heard of Salesforce or maybe HubSpot, which are the main incumbents in the industry. We actually have a person who just came back from Africa here today. The founder of the first CRM was actually trampled by an elephant on safari in Africa, and is sort of a legend in the CRM space. But the point of a CRM is it really serves as a system of record for any type of interactions that occur within your current customer base or your prospective customers. And so our user story, simply put, what are we doing? We believe that small startups who have not yet signed with a CRM or customer discovery manager will be more successful using our low-code, highly custom CRM while avoiding having their usage data tracked, analyzed, and sold. So we believe there are 1 to 2 million small startups in our target market, and we've been working on this project for close to 2 years now. And as a former user of Salesforce, was in a very heavy outbound sales role, making 60 cold calls a day. I can attest to the fact that a CRM is actually most useful to not current customers. It's really prospective customers and for business development efforts. And so we've built a system or a workflow that we truly believe if you can adopt, if your team can adopt, you're guaranteed to get more traction more effectively, and you're guaranteed to either grow the business or gain valuable insights that'll help you to pivot in order to more effectively use your time. So CRM can also be used for information analytics, geospatial analytics, knowledge discovery, data management, presentation, production, dissemination. There's several areas that CRM really touches. And so it's a very broad, ever expanding category. And so most compelling reasons to buy usage data on everything that you do within most apps is tracked, analyzed, and sold in ways you have no way of knowing. Most CRMs are relying on other vendors, database provider, Redis caching, some type of performance optimization tools. There's all types of providers that go within a CRM that when you use a CRM, you don't know where your data is going. So we fixed that problem with end-to-end encryption. That's a novel way. All of our encryption is done on the client side. There's actually no non-encrypted data that is persisting anywhere within the server that's hosting the information, which we believe is fairly novel. And so I've already sort of touched on this. The existing providers are pretty expensive. Salesforce in particular is very expensive. My previous company was paying over $750,000 a year for Salesforce. Well, what does it look like? This is the main page where you sort of live. Opportunities are where you go each morning, and you, again, have a system of record for who you're going to be reaching out to. How are you going to spend your time today for business development or customer discovery? I think anyone who's been in sales knows that people are busy, and it's difficult to track down people, particularly decision makers, that are going to be able to get you the sale. And we're in the B2B space, not really targeting B2C at the moment. Really people that are looking to do some type of consultative selling process where you're going from a prospecting stage to a qualification to a negotiation stage to a contract. So also you're able to track factors, both internal and external factors here. So to the right, you have external are how we perceive them as a prospect, such as we're selling a technical product. Maybe you want to speak to the CIO. So the decision maker is the CIO. Maybe you want to focus on companies that you know are not using a competitor because maybe that reduces the likelihood of getting the deal within a specific amount of time. So this is a sort of snapshot of a opportunity or a prospect that really tells a story over time. And if you really pay attention to the fields here, and you can also share them with anybody on your team, you can see how their conversations went. You can discuss them together. You can assign leads or opportunities to another salesperson that you're working with. And it's all done right here. So you have a system of record that stays with an account. And I for one, can say there were opportunities that we've had that had 4 years of dialogue. So, and then the last piece here, I know I probably need to hurry, is reports, which is one of the most expensive features on Salesforce. And so this allows you to build out custom search functionality in order to get creative with the types of fields that you're doing. And this can be shared as well in the cloud. And then we have just lots of sample user agreements that just go into sort of the legalese of most privacy agreements. Sorry, I'm jumping around, apologize. But pretty much every user agreement that you're gonna read is gonna say something like, we have the rights to sell your data or collect it for really any way. And there's really sort of a black box there where you can't really tell what is happening with your data. So we have an area of our app that's called research and development. So any new ideas that you have, you can enter them, you can share them, you can build a pipeline around them in terms of prospects that you're trying to get to purchase that, whatever that business idea is, product or service, and to do it more effectively. So again, no need to worry about these types of agreements with us because your data is end-to-end encrypted from start to finish. And so, really trying to give people the assurance of privacy, not so much from a security standpoint in terms of getting hacked, but just the sort of idea of having your space that is your web app that you're using to grow your business in a way that nobody else is snooping. Maybe you care about that. Some people care more than others about privacy in general. But again, don't worry about having to interpret some type of lengthy privacy agreement because everything is encrypted. And so I'll skip that page. And this is our pricing model. So right now it's a freemium model for the opportunities, accounts, and contacts piece. And then to get features like reports and forecasting. And then we have another one that's called sales goals. You can, those are paid features, $8 a month. So how am I doing on time?
I kind of lost track.
Okay.
I guess that means I'm engaged. I've lost the question.
Okay, sure.
So all I want to honor is that people will probably have questions.
Sure.
I'm not trying to like make you wrap it up.
Okay,
But
yeah.
get through it. Still want to share.
This is pretty much the last thing that I have. These are just example privacy agreements. Grants third parties access to your data. Share it with third parties. Provide other companies with statistical information about our users. Why would you do that? Well, it's because there's a lot of value to your data. So any new startups, keep your IP to yourself. These are all your valuable ideas that are based on your experience. And they're really your ideas that are going to separate you from the pack. Everybody knows it's tough as hell to get a startup going. So keep these things to yourself. They're really valuable. And that's pretty much it. We'll open it up for questions.
Question that I ask you is what would be as your
Sure. So would love to be able to do demos just to see if there are any startups here that are looking for CRM. Maybe you already have one. Really just to see if this workflow resonates with you, if you see it as something that is going to provide value.
You can sign me up for it.
Okay. Sure.
I'll be. I've had experience with Salesforce from a software. We have a company to do it. So we have had to work with Salesforce to do a lot of integration with websites, pass the data back and forth.
Sure.
I've never used it for my own personal CRM.
Sure.
I found it to be terribly overwhelming, way too much in there. And then right when you need the real tools that you need, they start charging you out the wazoo, right? And
Sure.
HubSpot is the same, it's just more user-friendly than Salesforce. So then I found SharpSpring, and I'm in love with SharpSpring. I'm a partner. I have 4 or 5 different clients that are using it for like $600 a month. Then I see you at $8 a month, and I'm like, oh, crap. Like, so I have 2 questions about that. I mean, it's not really comparing apples to apples because you are very strictly a CRM, people I can tell, whereas SharpSpring added like the Calendly functionality,
Sure.
the chatbot functionality. There's all kinds of website tracking so that you can see what people are visiting the website. And then there's the email with automations, right? So there's way more in it. I am embarrassed to say that I've never even thought about privacy, which is sad because even from a Google Analytics standpoint, there's other alternatives where you can see your website analytics. It costs money, it's not free. Nothing's free because you're essentially giving them all your information, all your clients' information. How comfortable would your clients be with that? We all do it because we think it's the only way. Right? So I love that you're an alternative, which is why I really want to look at it more. My final thought would be, from a design standpoint, I think the app could be prettier, but I mean, functionality first, right? That's even when we build apps too. Like it's always about making sure the functionality goes first, and then you can reskin it and wrap it in something later. That's like my only feedback. I'm actually very excited for it to see how.
Sure. Thanks. Appreciate that. We're trying to cater to new startup founders too that are maybe in an incubator or like a customer discovery class, something that's teaching startups that they're not going to be able to. They don't even know Salesforce, like sort of.
I would be
So it's much dumbed down version.
at people at that phase probably don't know what CRM means. I
Right.
had a meeting with a guy yesterday. My desk is out here in the open bullpen area. The guy walked past my desk and saw my screensaver and was like, "Oh, I need to talk to you about this stuff." So we sat down, And we ended up getting into this in-depth conversation, which eventually led to marketing automation. And I showed him a snapshot of Sharpring, and I said, but it's really at its core, it's a CRM. He was like, what?
Sure.
And he's not, like, yes, he's in the startup phase of his business, but he's built multiple businesses before. He doesn't even know what a CRM is. I was like, oh, all right. I mean, I explained it to him, I showed it to him, and he was like, and I looked that up, and he was very interested. So from a marketing standpoint, you might want to think about how you're going to approach people who are in that phase from a very dumbed down voice, right? To put a message across that solves their problem before they even know what the tool is or what all.
I've run into that same problem with marketing stuff. I tend to talk in very general speak.
Right.
Like your ROI and CP or like cost per click and all this stuff. And like,
Right.
people are like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Like video.
See the eyes glaze, see the eyes glaze over. Yeah.
So it's this thing like, video save time. I have to think about it from that perspective. 'Cause it's like a mechanic trying to explain.
Sure.
This is really interesting. We are kind of in a space where we're trying to, we're looking at HubSpot and integration and stuff like that. So it would be good to see. I'd be interested in seeing this.
Because right now, I'm literally the CRM. Trying to translate things into visual stuff sometimes is like excruciating, but like eventually this will reach capacity and
Sure.
the problem.
So from a project management standpoint, this is great for her, especially for her, because we are relatively new. So we don't have a huge customer base. Kind of a boutique video production market. So sure, very focused, pretty narrow, but we're still doing outreach, managing all that, and making sure those things. I would ask, can you track email? Like, so when I'm sending an email, like a HubSpot, it'll tell when it's open, it'll tell stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. So we're trying to focus on this privacy area because CRM is a mature market.
Yeah.
So we're trying to differentiate. And we're sort of banking on this. There's an area of people that are concerned about privacy. They don't want privacy agreements.
Right.
So HubSpot, what allows that? HubSpot is a Google strategic partner. So everything you do on Gmail, every email is read, goes into Google's bots. Like they read literally everything.
Sure.
And so HubSpot, that's what allows that to happen. And so we're not looking to do a Gmail integration because like that's sort of, we're trying to see if this privacy thing is abundant enough to get around that. So right now the email integration is copy paste.
I'd say, I mean,
We're
just
looking to,
so that you're maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not, but or maybe you would be hesitant to suggest this, but there are other tools out there. I just read about it last night, but now I can't remember the name. But there is an email app essentially that will work where when you send emails, it'll tell you when they're open or not, and that's just using like Gmail.
Like
Yeah, exactly. It's something totally extra. So if this is a copy and paste type thing, or like click a hot link to open your email program and then you send the email, there's probably third parties that can help you get that kind of data, right? So like for me, the CRM piece is gold and great. And for Amanda, who's in sales, like keeping track of everything with the CRM is awesome. I, on the other hand, love the automation piece because our weekly emails that go out, I can see who clicks and who doesn't, and when they click, how much time do they spend on a page. And then I can have an automatic email go out because they spent enough time that means they really read it, so I can hit them again. Like all that kind of stuff from a marketing perspective is like it's invaluable. Like I don't even know, but I really applaud what you're doing because I think privacy is absolutely a market that is growing. People are becoming more and more concerned about it, and I think what you're doing is great.
Sure.
I'm not rushing you off
Okay.
at all. If anybody has any other questions, we have 3 more minutes at least before we switch over.
Just waiting for the music to come on.
Not at all, man. Not at all. As you can tell in the beginning, this is casual. We just talk, chat, get to know each other. I think it's great. Actually, I think that may be the one piece that you left out. So who are you?
Yeah, so I'm a former software salesperson, sold construction data for almost 3 years and just lived in Salesforce. I'm sorry, Construct Connect.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
husband works in it.
Oh,
That is
really?
exactly what he
Yeah.
does. Using Salesforce.
Yeah, so we use Salesforce and didn't have any email integrations, didn't have any marketing automation. I would put responses to emails in CRM. I didn't see the benefit of putting every email. Mostly just like we've got a demo on, 2 o'clock on Tuesday. This is what's important, like putting those types of notes in. But yeah, so I did that. And I'm also going back, I'm local, born and raised Atlanta, but Holy Innocents, and then Clemson, and then Kennesaw State. And baseball was a previous lifetime.
What's your role in stealth?
Yeah, so I'm the founder, and I have a partner who is really involved in cryptocurrency and he's really into this privacy thing. And so it's me and him, and I've built probably 60 to 70% of the app. And then I have a developer partner who's just like a JavaScript whiz, and one in the UK who can just fly. He's like, I've worked with like 40 developers. He's like way over, like Ronald Acuna. So he's helping out a lot. And so it's us three right now. So
That's great. Well, Kevin,
so
thank you for
great.
presenting this morning.
Okay,
We
sure.
Really appreciate
thank you very much
coming
for
out.
having me. So I appreciate it.
Is it Kyle or Kevin?
Kevin.
Kevin Kyle, both. We have the same good baseball connection.
Oh, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of us on LinkedIn. We're supposed to be Kevin Kyle.
Oh, wow.
Right hour.
All righty. Cool. Well, good morning, and thank you for having me here today at 1 Million Cups of Man, Jason. My name is Brandon Hannon, and I am the co-founder of Laboratory Fitness, where we've been helping people restore the best version of ourselves for almost exactly 1 year now. Before I get started, a little bit about my background. I was raised in Peachtree City. I went to McIntosh High School. And shortly after graduate school, you went to McIntosh City? Nice. Shortly after graduate school, I found myself in the healthcare consulting space. So day in and day out, I'm analyzing hospital discharge data for high-profile mergers and acquisitions. And a passion of mine has always been to see what little things I can do for my health and help other people reach their health goals on an individual level. I've always been very curious about sort of the individualistic nature of health and wellness. And so to fuel this fire, I'm looking at these hospital data and seeing how much it truly costs, especially if there's complications, comorbidities. You have a $5,000 surgery turns into $30,000 surgery very quickly. So that kind of fueled my fire to get back to my root passions of helping people on an individual level. So a little bit of background on kind of what we do and how we got started is traditional exercise has been around for quite a while. There's millions of exercise places out there. And I was talking to my grandfather the other day on the phone, and he said, the opportunities available to me in the 80s are very similar to the exercise opportunities available to me now. The only difference is I can't do most of them. And the ones I can do, I can just do, very light. And that resonated with me because, as you get older, when you're young, you can perform the highest intensity CrossFit workout, run a mile, do 100 pull-ups and recover 2 days later. But as you get older, you experience declining energy levels, decreasing muscle mass, aches and pains don't go away quite as easily anymore, and it takes a lot longer to heal. And so naturally, that sprint you did on the treadmill combined with 20 power cleans turns into a jog on the treadmill and hanging out at the gym for an hour. And then in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, that turns into a walk around your neighborhood. Or maybe a silver sneakers aerobics class, which is fine, which is good, but your brain knows that you're exercising with lower and lower and lower intensities. And so that natural decline in your hormone levels is just going to keep getting lower and lower and lower as your brain adapts to you exercising with lower intensity. And so what if we could take this backwards? What if there was a machine out there that could take someone at older age or with a back injury or knee injury or whatever injuries preventing them from exercise and put them in an exercise modality that is very high intensity but almost no damage to the body? We've been doing this for about a year, and when you take someone who is unable to exercise at high intensities and provide their brain with that super high intensity exercise stimulus, it can do some pretty amazing things for the body. So what we've been using is our primary modality. It's the only one I'm going to talk about today, but it's called VASPER technology. So very quickly, it combines 3 scientific principles. It's a high intensity interval training workout with compression and active liquid cooling added. So when you combine those 3 scientific principles in a 21-minute workout, it mimics a very high intensity exercise with very low damage to the body. So when you're young, you're doing this really intense exercise, doing a lot of damage to the body, and you're hoping to recover to that level. Problem is, as we get older or develop injuries, that same amount of damage to the body, it's really hard to get that recovery response. So what the VASPER does is allows you to get a massive hormonal response and very little damage to the body. And the way we sort of came about and started the business actually through a series of testimonials. So the other founder, Jamie Myers, he came to me and basically said, "I found this miracle machine. You gotta come check it out." It doubled his testosterone in a few months, allowed him to start sleeping way better. He started sleeping like a baby again, and in turn, that sort of snowballed into him making a lot of lifestyle changes, and he lost 120 pounds as a result of that. Secondly, 2 other family friends of ours, both women, horrible hot flashes at night. They just sleep deprivation. They were falling into torture. They tried out the VASPER before we opened for a couple months. Their hot flashes completely went away. They, said this is a miracle. But I think what really did it for me is a close family friend of ours. He's got knee issues and back issues. He's around 60 now, I'd say. But he humored us and came and tried out the VASPER. And about a month in, we're saying, "Are you sleeping better? Are you feeling better?" He said, "Yeah, absolutely. My energy levels are up. I'm not hitting that 3 p.m. wall." He would even come and do the VASPER in the afternoon to get like a coffee in the afternoon. That was his VASPER. But he said that stuff doesn't matter to me. That stuff doesn't even pale in comparison to the fact that I haven't had an anxiety attack in a month. Since I've started doing VASPER, I haven't had an anxiety attack. And that was super powerful. And that was kind of like all right, we need to get 2 more of these things and start helping more people. And so that was kind of the birth of the lab. And our main problem, I would say, is we're like a restaurant who has really good food. We know this thing works. We have several testimonials, blood samples that show that this thing works. So one route we could take is push to connect with doctors in hopes to get like a formal medical study. I have some connections at Emory and Georgia Tech. So that's one avenue we're taking. But in the short term, I think, connecting with the community about how the VASPER is different from your traditional exercise has been a problem. It feels like we're selling zebras in a market of horses. So that's, any ideas you guys have about, sort of who would the gate openers be and how we might be able to connect. I brought Steve here with me today. He's been a client since October, September. And I'm sure you're fine with me sharing
I
this.
don't have to take T-shots anymore.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better. I also incorporate something else. I have open ARX, and 3 times a week I'm in there, and it's an hour, and I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. I think better. I think it's been great, and plus you can do it quickly. 21 minutes, right? You're not in the gym for 2 hours. And when I do the ARX, that adds another 30 minutes or so, but it's been really, really good for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so Steve came to us, he'd been taking testosterone shots for what, 5 years?
Yeah.
6 years, and he got to the point where it was every 2 weeks. Feel like crap, 2 weeks. And you said, I remember it clear as day, you said, I'm not taking another one of those shots. I'm gonna give this thing a chance. And then 1 month went by, no shot. 2 months went by, no shot. I still feel fine.
The other
And now
problem with
it's
shots, is side effects, but you take the shot, and by the time you get to needing your second shot, you got your dot spent. Where this is, I have a consistent energy flow. I'm always, full of energy, so.
So with that, any comments, questions you guys may have of how we might want to get this new and exciting technology out? I could pull one up for you on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is,
The hard part is just that I'm using 2 different screens.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of trying to figure out how to.
I have a lot of questions. My dad, where are you located?
we're inside of home plate baseball, so on
Okay.
Highway 74 at TK.
And that's probably where my dad is going to a place like this. My dad's Jeff from mom.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know Jeff.
I know
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah, yeah.
So Jeff, so that,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in power for, so I'm subbing for him now.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, so right as soon as we started talking, like, oh my gosh, my dad is obsessed with this. And he literally would pitch it to me because I'm very much in like health and fitness, and I played college soccer, so I'm like still trying to, keep my like physical self going. And my dad's always trying to help me with that. And I think the main problem, first of all, my dad loves it, and he's like, can't say another thing. Same thing. He shots at, he's like, this has been the best thing for me. He's very busy. He owns like 3 businesses. He doesn't have a lot of time in his day. So
Right.
going back to like the 20 minutes in a day is like phenomenal for him. But yeah, for me too. I mean, just
Just did a
find
general
something
search,
that's
but
like
it's a little
quick,
fast for aging.
easy. I have like knee issues from soccer, so like something that's low impact.
Mhm.
I just think that's phenomenal. Are there other competitors in?
no,
You
so,
know.
and this is what kind of makes it maybe a challenge, I would say. It's a really expensive piece of equipment for one. So,
Yeah.
so the price point compared to your $39 Planet Fitness seems higher. But anywhere else you go in the US, the closest Vasper is Charleston. It's inside, it's downstream in like a bone and joint rehab center. And lowest price they have is $50 a session. every time you hop. Ours is $50 a week for them. So what we're really trying to do in the short term is have people come try it, get 300 people to come try it. And, if 100 stick and 100 have some really good results, and maybe, we have several clients that wear the blood glucose monitors and are pretty good about tracking the data, and we're seeing the resting heart rate go way down, the blood sugars go way down and whatnot. If we can build up a booklet of testimonials to take to some, medical researcher, I think that's, I have a very academic mind. And so that's kind of where our goal is at right now in the short term. But so we're trying to make it accessible to anybody, but the answer is no, there's no competitors.
Is this it?
Yeah, Vasper Science Aging, that's a good one.
So we're sort of bulletproof from the time we're born to the time we go through puberty. And once you reach puberty, of course, your body is taller. There's more real estate here. You can no longer concentrate lactate in those levels. And then you don't have time to run around all day. Most people actually realize that when they have decreasing muscle mass, decreasing energy, and of course it takes much longer to heal. So when you go to a traditional medical professional and they check your hormone levels, they most likely will tell you, well, this is just a normal part of aging, you're getting old. But the truth is that our hormones don't decline because we age because our hormones decline. So the idea with Vasper was to design technology that would actually take you backwards. And what we're doing is by compressing the quads and biceps during a 20-minute exercise, we are forcing very high concentration of lactic acid because we're slowing down the release of the lactic acid. We've done actually a trial in Honolulu with seniors where we had a very advanced group, average age was 82 years old. We had 30 people in the trial, and those people did extremely well. They had increase in their strength, and we could see them increase muscle strength 300%, 400% sometimes over other traditional exercise methods. Seeing a grandparent being able to regain some of the strength and some of the quality of life that they had lost is beyond amazing.
That just reminded me of this, the lactate CDs. My dad was like, I'm never sore. He's like, it's
Right.
unbelievable. He was like, I would have this really intense hard workout and I'm not sore the next day. He's like, I don't understand.
Yeah. So the compression cuffs are actually filled with cold water. And so when your body is and we keep the room cold, so when your body's at a normal temperature and you exercise, the blood doesn't go to the skin, it stays in your muscles. And the blood needs, or the muscles need oxygen from the blood to move forward. And so that's exactly why you don't get sore, is you do have enough blood in the muscles to flush all that lactic acid out. You actually lay on a cooling bed for 10 minutes afterwards, and you just kind of relax. Josh Lord has done it as well.
The plates are so cold.
I can speak to the efficacy of it.
Yes.
It makes me feel 10 years younger, doing it consistently. The one sticking point, so since we work together, things have developed in our business. So I have a recommendation, and I also have a sticking point that I realized when we were working with our Steve.
Yeah, hit me.
The big thing that changed for fitness is COVID. Now getting people to physically go to the gym is it's hard. Like so, and convincing them to do it is the other part that's really hard. Video content, number one foremost, converting content is testimonials, and I think we got some really good ones. But what's changed in the environment since then, I think, is micro content. So TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, Reels on Instagram. This has been where video has started to go. And it's because it's top of mind, it's every day, it pumps the algorithm. So what we've started to do for our clients is 30 to 60 pieces of micro content. We produce it in a day. We go to your place, produce it in a day, spend a day shooting, and then you have two reels per day going out just on a schedule. And it's syndicated to all those places. In terms of audience, I'm not sure what your reach is or what that is. In terms of Facebook, and mostly on Facebook. Yeah. But the physically getting people to come do it, and like, have you since we talked before, have you figured out?
So we found a marketing firm, and instead of charging us for the click and saying, oh, we sent 600 people to your website and that should warrant X amount of dollars, we found a marketing firm that will actually send you an Excel file, like a running Excel file of name, email, phone number.
Sure.
And so we did a campaign. We got about 70 hits, maybe 10 signups from that. So it was actually a really high conversion rate.
Sure.
I asked how much you paid.
We pay, I think it was $1,200 of ad spend and $400 on top of that. It was somewhere around 15.
Same conversions. Like,
Yeah.
Did you make phone calls? Or?
Yeah, so they would show up on the list, and obviously, like a lot of them were like, "Oh, I accidentally clicked on it."
Yeah.
But they didn't charge us per person; they just charged us a flat rate,
I see.
and then the ad spend on top of that. So I could see, and they made all the ads, but I could see the state of the world where we make some like 20 or 30, and then feed them to called J&L marketing, I believe. Feed them that content, and then they're really good at sort of just wording the ads and making them look pretty and stuff like that. But that seemed to work. We also did an event at home plate, the baseball field, where we had different other wellness vendors come. We had about 15 vendors. Not a whole lot of people showed up, but the ones that did were very interactive. And so from that, we got probably 12 names on our list, and 8 of them actually are still clients of ours. So it was like almost everyone who wrote their name down was like, I want to sign up now.
That's big turnover.
And that's
for a
big-
day.
yeah. And that, well, that's because they,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's big.
yeah, and that's because they tried it. So we had a Vasper sitting there. So that's one of the things that I would,
But it was too, it broke down for a little bit.
it did break it hot as hell out, yeah.
We had to cool off for a
Yeah,
minute to get
so
back up. and
That's
running.
one thing that I think could be a point of, success is maybe the answer is bring it to them. So if there's any sort of opportunity where there's vendors or events, we would love to actually bring the Vasper there physically and have people demo it on site. It's tough to transport. The bus is a good idea, but it's tough to transport because the unit is filled with super cold water, so it sloshes around easily. Unless we could like siphon it out back in.
So if I'm understanding correctly, so I know of you guys, but I haven't been in, I haven't tried it, I haven't seen the whole thing, but
Mhm.
obviously you said it's more than just the Vasper. So laboratory fitness as a facility can offer more things than just this one that you focused on today.
Mhm.
What you focused on today feels more like physical therapy rehabilitation for some reason. Like that's what's in my head more than a workout. Yeah, and like when you asked, like, or when I asked what we could do for you, like that kind of question you answered, I immediately think of the gym that I go to right across the way there, and they have an entire wing for physical therapy, and I see them where they're working with people all the time, and I immediately put this there, thinking like, wow, this would go really well in there, but you're way more than that, right? So, and especially this didn't hurt you in any way, but like showing the video from the people who make Vasper takes me away from the laboratory fitness brand. So now I wonder, like, well, they just go out and buy a Vasper, and then how does that, right? Because you said there's somebody in Charleston, they're not laboratory fitness, like they just have one.
Right.
So what's the vision for laboratory fitness in the direction that you want to take your business?
Yeah, so I think there's several ways we could go with it. I mean, I think you're exactly right. Being the next option after physical therapy. So we've talked to several physical therapists about them billing insurance for the Vasper, which has been done in the past. Problem is insurance is state by state, and it's pretty finicky of what they'll cover because that's medically necessary. But one route we could take is be distributors to Vasper distributors, which they're not, their manufacturing capacity I don't think is high enough quite yet. But to be distributors to physical therapy offices if insurance is a viable option. Alternatively, we could position ourselves as the next downstream option after physical therapy. So you get a knee replacement, you do your physical therapy bout, insurance pays for some or all of that physical therapy bout. Okay, then what? Are you going to go work out in this gym? Maybe not. So this could be an option for somebody that is coming off an injury or is quite elderly and, can't lift weights in there, they can maybe ride the elliptical
I'm
really
telling you,
slowly.
there's a lot of people there that fit that category,
Mhm.
and I watch them walk around. I don't really know what to do. There's lots of trainers, and they're very helpful.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, there's a demographic that is exactly what you're describing. These are people who probably pay for the membership because they want to be active.
Mhm.
They have no idea what to do because everything feels too intense.
So the other thing with the Vasper, it's got different levels. So it's got recovery and rehab, it's got personal fitness, and then it's got athletic. So athlete who's trying to increase their performance levels. So it's got different levels. So that's another thing that to say there. But
Yeah, and on top of that, the comment about, well, what else? So I think the Vasper is the centerpiece, but if we were to do this sort of the next downstream option for someone coming out of physical therapy, we also have this machine called an ARX that Steve was talking about, and we have a personal trainer, a former D1 strength coach that takes you through this workout on this ARX, which is basically like, think of it as a moving scale. So you're doing a chest press and the machine moves back and forth. You don't have to do anything, but you push into it the whole time down, the whole time up. Yeah. So it's very safe, and you get the max. I mean, 1 set of 8 on that thing on chest press, and it's super intense. So it's very efficient.
The spreadsheet marketing firm sent you the contacts. Who are the contacts? Who are you guys reaching out to?
So they were mainly targeting, I believe, 50 and over.
It was just individuals.
It was individuals, yeah.
You said this was based on an ad spend, right? So these Facebook leads that they
Yes.
generated and then just populated a spreadsheet.
Yeah, so their ads had a form associated with it, and then if you fill out the form, I don't know if they put it in the spreadsheet or it automatically go over. But that's,
Yeah.
but we actually had a physical number we could call, especially because, most 70-year-olds, for example, they might go to your website, but then they don't know how to like digitally sign up
No,
on
that's
your
the nice thing
schedule.
about Facebook lead ads, is that you have to be logged in as a human being in order to even be in Facebook. And those lead ad forms, all you do is click submit, your information's already there, so you already know who you are.
Mhm.
It's beautiful, it's simple, and their ads definitely were targeted to the right people. You got so many great,
Mhm.
those leads were really good leads.
Yeah.
You converted so many.
And a lot of them were junk, I will say, but enough were good to justify. Sure. But yeah, that was successful. And so I think if we added like some steroids to that and put some mini videos on it, might be.
Well, I mean, the trick is that all of that video is only going to support the ads that you're running. The ads are going to show up in front of people that you didn't really, they don't already follow you, so you're going to get a new audience of people. The more times that they see you through video content like that, the more likely they are.
7
to-
touches or something.
Numbers, yeah. I can say 6, but like 20. I mean, this day it's like.
Yeah,
it all
Depends on
message and the
where the
time.
research is coming from.
Yeah.
For sure. And in terms of, I know you mentioned this physical therapy, the rehab, connecting with doctors and maybe having the doctor's family come try it out, or the doctor's front desk staff come try it out. That's another option we've explored, because we want some doctors to feel comfortable. They're telling their patients all the time that, hey, you need to get exercise. Exercise is great. You need to get exercise, or else you're going to have to be on the side of this cholesterol medicine. If they knew someone who had success with the Vasper, then they may feel comfortable to recommend it. And that's something we're still pretty new exploring. It's really hard to get in contact with doctors.
Do you know Dr. Harris? She's a functional medicine doctor. She's a regular PhD. She prescribes medicine like any other doctor.
Yeah.
Before she does, she tries to get to the root of the issues.
Okay.
I've been with her for years.
I'm gonna write that down.
Absolutely love her.
Okay.
Erin with 2 N's.
Oh yeah, I do know Erin. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, to me, I feel like she's the perfect kind of doctor that we want to have by your side, because 1, she would definitely come in and use it to try it with her staff. 2, she's more likely to recommend exercise for someone to get healthy instead of just writing a prescription. And to me, it sounds like a really good alternative for anybody who wants to work out, but is very intimidated by traditional gym. You're a trainer, what's your thought?
Please.
It reminds me of the elliptical, which I can't use because I'm a short person, bothers my knees. So I discovered art at the gym. And it's a lot like the art. Do you know what I want is?
Is it a recumbent stepper?
It's more of a fluid motion, but you're standing.
You're
You're
standing.
using your arms and your legs, but it's not as harsh. I just wondered what the difference between. But if you don't know.
Yeah, so the machine that we're on is not unique in any way. It's a recumbent stepper. So there's probably a recumbent stepper in there. And your feet just do a back and forth punching motion. So there's no cycle. In fact, probably our number 1 injury is knee replacement. 15 people that have knee replacement, sometimes double, and they're able to go fast on this thing without anything at all. So your legs are just doing a punching motion, and the arms are doing just straight back and forth. So it's a super low impact way. Then the way we're adding the force multiplier is to add compression. And then there's a software that syncs it all together. Shows you when to sprint, when to go slow, how fast to go, what the resistance level is. All that stuff.
Have you ever heard osteostrong?
So big, what do they do?
One of my clients, she was in California, she was osteostrong. It's basically what you were talking about ARX, where it does resistance training.
Yeah.
And the reason she goes to osteostrong is because she's Japanese. she's worried about osteoporosis.
Mhm.
So she needs that resistance training. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
really liked when you said that was resistance.
yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, osteostrong, I believe is just isometric, where you just sitting there and push into it. Whereas the ARX, it actually takes you through the range of motion. So Alex will set your starting position, ending position on a leg press, for example. Then he'll decide how many seconds it takes to go back and forth. You can make a pause at the bottom, and then you're pushing the entire time.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because when you're a personal trainer, and you sit there and you tell people you're trying to help them. And you're telling them to do a bicep curl, do your curl, but resist going down.
Sure.
They cannot comprehend that. People don't comprehend that, how important it is that resistance coming down as it is the actual movement.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing. I think fitness centers, anybody that has silver sleepers, like I used to work at fitness. And one of my good friends, she teaches the silver sleepers class. She'd love to have me talk.
Okay.
I think that's an awesome idea. Crest wings,
Yeah.
let you come talk.
We've done several presentations there, and a lot of rationale is, well, we already have a gym. Why would I go work out at a different gym? And so just getting the point across to like, this is not a gym. This is completely different. This is scientific, a scientific revolution in exercise. That if you do it, maybe instead of working out one time at your gym and press one, you can work out 3 times because you've been able to cover a lot. Same with pickleball, golf. We haven't had a lot of success in those areas, but we think we want to keep pushing it because we know the golfers we have. We have several 80-year-old golfers that now they golf 3-4 times a week because they golf and come to the Bassford, and then the next day they can golf and make $4 million. They're 80 years old.
That's the stuff.
Yeah,
That's the kind.
yeah. That's
That's
about
it right
10
there.
second
Targeting
video.
that particular thing. Because finding golfers is what.
Yeah.
Here?
What's that?
What is your biggest challenge to get butts and chairs? Like, to get people to come to the gym and work out and get membership? Like, what is the biggest, say, top 2 challenge?
So our location is hard to find. I think that's a big one. Now the location being hard to find, I would argue maybe isn't as big of an impact because they still have to decide they're going to come, right? Once they decide they're going to come, then they can't find it. There's not a lot of people that say, "Oh, I couldn't find it, so I left." So maybe I'll discount that one. But I would say just getting the word out to know that this thing exists and that it's not, that it shouldn't be quickly overlooked as just another exercise.
Well, what about this, like the physical therapists, chiropractors, and doctors, getting in front of them and then letting them hear you or watch it, some kind of demo video of your clinic? What is the number 1 challenge?
So doctors is tough to get in front of in general. I've done a couple lunch and learns, and just 5-minute in and out, how much it costs, where you located, that type of stuff. And then, okay, cool, I'll come try it. And then they don't come try it. We've had some success with chiropractors and some success with physical therapists. But same thing, they're very busy. I mean, it's, we haven't seen a lot of referrals from them, a few very good ones. But the big, I think there's, tons of chiropractors. So the biggest challenge is manpower of getting out there and talking to each one and finding your doctor Harris's.
You found physical therapists to be more important than chiropractors? Or?
I do actually. I mean, not from I go to a chiropractor that is very great and sends us some good referrals. But in terms of how the Bassford fits in, I think it fits in more on the physical therapist.
So
After
2
your
things.
discharge.
One, my wife is a physical therapist.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I'm in an industry where we get winded down all the time. And I'll tell you what gets our attention. It's not cheap, but if you get with like a partner like some great like Palmer's, Peachtree City, or the Cellar in Newman, where the food's not going to be cheap, but you have like Megan works with a handful of physical therapists, and they all take lunch at the exact same time. So they'll leave at 12, go do their thing, sometimes she's in the car, and then they'll come back at noon. I would see if it's possible, because I don't know what the laws are, but I would have Palmer's cater and bring a lunch to that clinic and say free lunch, and for every person you send this, we're going to give you one. But your team will have to decide what that one is. It might be 50% off on the first visit and 20% off for the first year or something. Because the idea would be, once you get the butt in the chair, that's the term we like to use. Once you get butts in chairs and they like it, they start telling their friends, and that's what the actual payoff is.
For sure.
You know, like the lady that really needs it, she's in a book group. The lady that really needs it is a member of some sort of gym club, and then she's telling them. And after about 3 to 5 years, you're so busy, you're having stiff on people.
Sure.
But I know that tactic works in my industry, and for the physical therapists, when you have a clinic like Ortho Atlanta, Georgia Bone and Joint, they're all leaving. The clinic shuts down for an hour, and they all leave and then they come back. If you keep them there and have a really nice lunch from a great tasting restaurant owners, that has worked with us.
Would you suggest like Georgia Bone and Joy, for example? I know Trevor Turner pretty well. Would you suggest bringing the Vasper on site during the lunch to have someone demo it? So
I would
they can
have
see
an
it?
excellent video.
An excellent video.
And I would choose some normal person, just doesn't have to be a rock star.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. I would bring somebody, it doesn't have to be a hired actor, but someone that really needs that machine. And I would document that entire journey. Interview before, talking to him during it, showing him exactly how that machine works. And the guy is saying, the video we watched, I didn't believe it. So I want to know why, some of the stuff he's touched on, why is it working? Because I want to get an influencer. I want to understand, why is this working? The components in the machine, why is that actually working? And why is my body responding the way it is to it? And I would talk to him because he's the video guy. But I would make it less than 5 minutes. But I would have, and then after that gentleman or the lady finishes, and maybe they do it for a week, or maybe they just do it for a few days, I would then have like a post interview and go really, really deep. Because if you're just saying what that guy was saying, talking head, he sounded like an influencer.
Right.
Like I want to understand it. I don't want to be solo. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. The more emotional side than the information.
So I want to go back to my question. Real quick. So you mentioned already that your location may or may not be in there. Sorry, is your vision to be in there forever, or is your vision to have your own?
No, so we
space?
actually
Is it franchising?
either today or tomorrow we're probably going to sign a lease to move mid-September. So I think that's going to really help help out a lot. The franchising standpoint, probably not. I mean, each Vasper costs $53,000. So if you're a franchisee and it's a $400,000 cost outlay, forget it. Probably, unless you can. Everywhere else in the U.S. is charging $50 a session. So if you can get those people in for $50 a session, maybe. But the franchising thing right now, at least I think we'll put it on the back burner once we, have our method a little bit more well-rounded with the testing and the, proven results.
Before franchising, how about the location?
Sure.
Or I'll even go, I'll step outside that line of questioning and just ask them, how are you making money? I want to ask you the same question at $8 a month, but or premium before that, but if it costs that much and you think that franchisees wouldn't be interested because we take too long to make their money back, how are you making?
The short answer is we're not. I mean, we just started breaking even. So
A year?
In a year?
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's in a year.
Yeah, and so, but the short answer is we're not. I mean, it's, and we're keeping our price point down because we want 300 butts in seats. And if we get to 100 members, that's probably about 80% capacity. Then we'll be, doing okay. We're doing just okay. But at that point, we'll really know, how the machine's running and where to tweak it and kind of what direction to go from there. So
I wanted to touch on one more thing.
It's up to everybody else.
So one of the things that I've noticed in your presentation is your features and benefits, features and benefits, features and benefits. And when we were working together, one of the biggest selling points for your whole organization, every person I talked to at LabFit was like, Alex, Jamie, are the coolest dudes, the best people to work with. And I think you're missing a lot of value in the industry. I try to, you're academic, I know you're academic, I've interviewed you. But one of the things that sells Lab Fit, you as a personal brand, you bring. Like, so every single time, like, really, I think you should showcase you guys. Like Jamie being the, he's like the size of a house and then he's super trim. Like that transformation, and he's like, I built this machine in my basement. Like, it was essentially what he did. He cobbled the thing together because he wanted to get off testosterone replacement. And he was 350 pounds, and now he's like trim, dude. That is a huge selling point because it's like, it's a compelling story. It's really interesting. And it sells Jamie. And then you're like, you look at Jamie and you're like, yeah, so you were compelled by Jamie's story to start the business. That in and of itself is a compelling reason for somebody to stop and listen. So like from the story standpoint, your brand, Alex's brand, Jamie's brand is you. And whenever I talk to people about that, that's all they talk about. They don't care about the machines. Like the people at Crestman's when they're like, why would I work out there? You're trying to sell on features and benefits. You're not selling, Alex is the coolest guy you're ever going to work with. Like, and every single person that works with Alex is like, Alex. They're like, he's so trendy. So it's
All
like,
of the older ladies are like, oh,
like the whole time. So it's like, there's a huge value there, especially if you're not in a franchise. So like, that's a huge part of your brand. And with the advent of TikTok, authenticity, just like if you guys were just spitting videos and like hanging out with your clients and posting that stuff every single day, I guarantee you're going to get turnaround, and it's for almost no money. Right? You just do it on your phone and be like, hey, how you feeling today? And you're like, I feel great, worked out without shit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
so that brand, that brand, like focusing on that, I think that would be really valuable to your IP.
and you start today.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna have a beer. Like, I want to hang out with you, like you. So
That's
like,
right.
that's a big differentiator. Every gym is a gym. Every gym has weights. This particular gym is special, but it's special first because of you, not because of the machine. The machine, I'm gonna buy from you, know, like, and trust you. But now I come in, now I'm gonna try the machine because I like branding. And that's the big bridge you gotta cross, getting people to come in. So like if you're in front of these people, like you're talking about, and you're selling your brand, you show videos of you, Jamie, and Alex just kicking ass and being cool, hanging out with clients. They're like, this looks like something I could try.
Right.
Then they try it, now they're sold.
Right. Rather than like, here, the scientific.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about this guy.
Yeah, no, that
Like,
makes
they're
sense.
like, he's just talking. Like,
At the very least, I'd come in to try it just because now I know that I can hang with you for 20
yeah, and it's awesome.
You'd be
It's
all right, even if
Sure.
the machine sucks.
being physically
Yeah.
there is awesome. They like play 80s music and everybody's stoked. Like whenever you go in there, like Steve will be on a machine. I'll walk in there and Steve's like, "What's up, Josh?" And I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna be just off." And then we like have a battle. You have like a little battle. It's fun. Like and that's a value that we're not selling.
Yeah.
You're not showing it. You're not giving it to us. And it's a you already have for free.
Yeah. That's
Community.
totally true.
Build a community.
There is a community. They
just
talk
don't
to each
know
other
about
on
it.
it. They're like, "You coming in today?" Like,
Focus on that,
Yeah.
especially the elderly people. That's why I come to some centers. Yeah. To hang out. Yeah.
Like Steve the pirate, the dodgeball.
yeah, that's it. You gotta have like. I mean, Jamie's a good mascot. Alex is like the quiet one. You guys are like a Korean pop. Just lean into that whole energy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. That was incredibly helpful.
Awesome.
Really good job. Enjoy. Thanks for coming out, man. I do appreciate it. And we'll be back here next Wednesday, 9 to 10. I'll be on time.
Be my
Where's my cursor at?